Good morning. Hi, everybody. It's Miss Amy with another STEM activity today with Millie. Here comes Spencer. Hi, Todd. We left the peanut out. Oh, you sneak. I knew he was going to do that. I was trying to give him a peanut this morning. He didn't want the peanut. And I said, you watch. He's going to wait until I take Millie out. And then he's going to go all crazy trying to hide from her his treats. He's such a jerk. But we love him. So let's say good morning, Millie. Hi, Mills. How you doing? All right. Let's see what Millie's got out for us today. All right. Today, what we're doing is super easy. We're going to make an easel. Let's see. We've got a cardboard box and some tape and some clips. I've got either this stationary clip or clothespins and then something sharp. I like to use my box cutter, but you could use scissors. And we're going to do the build first, and then we will do the story. So let me clip you in, and that looks okay. So this is super easy. I took a box. We all have boxes laying around. And I just cut off the two ends and one side. So normally it would look like a box with 6 sides. So I cut off the top and the bottom and one side. And you can see it's already got these folds in it from when it was made into a box. And it's easy. You just fold them so that you have a triangle shape. And then you can either just clip it, and that makes your easel, or you can use tape, whatever you have. If you don't have a big strong clip like this, you might have to improvise and do some tape along the top. But if you have a clip, that's it. Now, when I went to clip my paper on the side of my easel, I noticed that with it having the full sides on it, I don't know if you can see, it was a little too big, so I had to improvise, and I cut off these extra pieces so that you can see my easel. And then this way I just use my 2 clothespins, and I can draw on my easel. For grown-ups, I'll put a reason why working on an easel is actually very good and very healthy for preschoolers in terms of muscle development and things like that. But that's not for you guys. That's for the grown-ups. So I'm just going to take our homemade easel and I'm going to put it to the side. And today you're getting a big treat. You are getting a book that is no longer in print, and it's a book that my mom used to read to me when I was little, so this book is old. And we're going to do some innovating based on what we read about in this story. And so this is called The Ice Cream Cone Coot and Other Rare Birds. This book is by Arnold Lobel. Excuse me, are you done? All right. So here we have, put that off to the side. All right, I'm starting, Millie. You gonna help me turn the page? The Ice Cream Cone Coot and Other Rare Birds by Arnold Lobel. Look at this one. It looks like a vase. The birds inside this book. All the birds inside this book are very strange and rare. And if you travel to the zoo, you will not find them there. Don't look for them in nature books, in parks or pet shop cages. The drippet, piffle, and the rest live only on these pages. All ladies agree this bird is worth knowing. The pin-cushion piffle will help with the sewing. When the drippet runs along the street, he leaves little puddles, so watch your feet. For writing a list, or maybe a letter, the pencil-keep parrot could hardly be better. Vanilla and chocolate, lemon and lime, the ice cream cone Coot is a treat anytime. Look at all these amazing birds. This bird will tip its empty head. He'll ask you please to fill it. Pour tea into the cuppity and take care not to spill it. The shuttercluck will never sing, nor will he ever fly, but he can take your picture when he clicks his big round eye. The dirtiest bird is the garbage canary. He lives in conditions quite unsanitary. Down in hot jungles, steaming and dark, hear the loud calls of the soup ladle lark. And instead of singing bird songs, they're calling out names of soups. Split pea, beef broth, cream of tomato. Silly. I do not trust the jackknife Niffy. He could swoop down and cut off your nose in a jiffy. All the button beaks are small. Their shape is neatly round. Look down upon your shirt front. That's where they can be found. See how little they are? The milk bottle midge is a bird highly prized. He is friendly and round and homogenized. The cut-it-up snippet makes holes in the trees. He clips all the leaves, and he does it with ease. Each day you must water your flower pot plume. The buds in his bird brain are certain to bloom. The broom whisk is a well-known bird, and one you may have seen. Your mother uses him each day to keep the household clean. The 10 o'clock titthrush takes to the skies. He soars high above us, and time really flies. The gramophone gullfinch will beautifully sing. Just put on a record and wind up the spring. Showers and storms please the wet weather wren. When the cloudburst is over, he flies home again. This one's fun because look, it's like he's using his head, his feathers on his head as an umbrella. These high button bobolinks croon to the night. One fits the left foot and one fits the right. The plug socket swift is a high voltage bird. His head is a light bulb, or so I have heard. Ironing clothes will make them lie flat. The steam presser sparrow is good for just that. The salt shaker shrike has the shakes for good reasons. You'll love him when tasting the food that he seasons. The sharp saw macaw is ever so gentle. Those teeth that you see are just ornamental. Over our heads, the key cranes are flocking, looking for doors that might need unlocking. The water glass goose can't be dropped on the floor. If this one should break, there just aren't any more. The dollar bill dodo is easy to spot. He is made of green paper and worth quite a lot. Instead of fine feathers, as most other birds, the newspaper peeper is covered with words. A good friend to know is the safe crossing crow. The red eye means stop, and the green eye means go. And here is the glove dove, poised lofty in flight. He doesn't know that pointing is considered impolite. Oh yes, all these birds inside this book are very strange and rare. And I repeat, it would be hard to find them anywhere. So do not search your neighborhood with cage or trap or net, for not a single boy or girl has ever caught one yet.
Morning. Thank you. You need to scan the...
And that's the end.
Okay.
And look, there they all are. All of these crazy, amazing birds. So what I thought today, since this is our official end to our bird investigation, that instead of adding a bird to our bird journal that we see in nature, we're going to add a bird to our bird journal that we make in our imagination. So all of the birds in this book are made from things that we all have in our houses, right? Whether it's a pencil or some sweets or a trash can or a mug or a cup. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick something that we're interested in, and we're going to make our own very rare bird. So I did a few for an example. I thought, well, if you wanted to go to the beach, maybe you would make a bird out of beach toys. So I've got my big bucket, my little bucket, my rakes and my shovel and 2 sifters for wings. This could be, you know, the beach toy seagull or whatever you want to make it. Then I thought, what do I have in my kitchen? I have a big fruit bowl. So look, I took all my fruit in my fruit bowl and I made a fruity toucan, I guess. It's got an apple for eyes. An apple for a head and blueberries for eyes. A banana beak, an orange body. Todd came up with an idea for a pineapple tail. And some strawberries are his feet. Now, it is a little bit tricky to think abstractly. So what I would suggest you could do, which brings the whole STEM component in, is to pick something that you find interesting. And all the boys and girls at Amtree know that Miss Amy loves to knit. So I'm going to make my very rare bird out of yarn. So I'm going to start with my yarn. I've got a yarn ball for the body and a yarn ball for the head. And then I see my little tiny scissors. Oh, what do they remind me of? They remind me of a beak. And when I do that, that almost looks like a good place for the eyes to go. I've got these little things. Miss Linda and Miss Laura know what these are called. These are called stitch markers. And then let's see, my bird needs some wings. So I'm going to take some of my knitting needles and I'll shove them. Well, I'll shove them behind because time is of the essence, right? And I'll shove more this way. Oh, and then it kind of makes like a little tail shape. And maybe I'll use these fancy needles that Miss Linda gave me to make the legs. And look, I've got this little ploop. That'll be the comb on top of my bird's head. And you could do this with anything. You could do this with your building toys. You could do this with maybe your accessories from dress up. You could do it with things that you find in the kitchen or different tools or whatever. And then after you make your bird out of all of the stuff that you have in your house, I picked my hobby because you can see a lot of these birds in the books were all, sort of created. I've had kids make them out of different kind of candies. I've had kids make them out of Legos and trucks and cars and all kinds of things. And the last bit is to add it to your bird journal. And since we made this lovely easel today, I figured we would just go ahead and sketch it out. So I'm going to do my yarn head. I'm going to actually tilt it a little bit so you can see it. My yarn head and my yarn body. And I've got my scissor eyes and my scissor beak. I don't even really know how to draw that, but live and learn. And then I've got my little round stitch markers. And I had my little red yarn floof on top. That's what it's called, a yarn floof. And then I've got my needles for the wings. And I've got some pointy parts of the needles for the tail. I think that is mathematically correct. And then I've got my super duper fancy needles that Miss Linda gave me for Christmas or my birthday. And there we go. So that's my yarn. Kind of looks like an owl, right? So you go ahead and make your very rare bird from things that you can find around your house. It's rainy anyway, so it's not like you're going to see anybody outside. So you might as well make one from your own imagination. Any idea where the queen is? Oh, there she is. She's eating the dog's food, so hold on a minute. We'll catch her in her natural mischief-making habitat. Oh, Millie. This is what she does. She likes to go into the dog's cage and get all of his treats that he hides. All right, Mills, time to say goodbye. Yeah, give him a boop. Bye. Mwah.